You are on to another edition of the Power Circuit, a half-hour program brought to you by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. The program brings you up to speed about the power sector operations and the role of TCN in transmitting bulk electricity nationwide, as well as managing the national electricity grid. In this edition, here are the top stories in the lineup. The management of TCN reviews staff conditions of service, career progression path to boost commitment and service delivery. We have the acting regional transmission manager, Kano Region of TCN, Engineer Badamasi Adamu, with us in the interview segment. He will be speaking on expectations for power transmission projects execution and the expected improvement in operational efficiency in the region, which covers Kano, Jigawa, Katsina, among others. I am Amara Agugoesi. Stay with us as we take you through this program. The Minister of Power, Engineer Abubakar Liu, has taken charge of his duty call immediately after his appointment on September 1st, 2021 by President Muhammadu Buhari and has already taken several engagements with the industry's stakeholders.
Engineer Aliu is a 55-year-old graduate of Civil and Water Resources Engineering. Until his appointment as Minister of Power by President Muhammadu Buhari, Engineer Aliu was the Minister of State for Works and Housing since 2019. Shortly after the announcement of the appointment, the Minister of Power, Engineer Abubakar Aliu, assumed duty at the ministry's headquarters situated at the powerhouse in the Maitama area of Abuja. He met with officials of the ministry as well as heads of agencies and parastatals under the ministry. The minister then met with President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House a day before his first participation at the Federal Executive Council meeting as the Minister of Power. Briefing State House reporters after his meeting with President Buhari, the Minister of Power expressed his determination to work with all stakeholders to deliver on the mandate given to him and make President Muhammadu Buhari and every Nigerian happy. Engineer Aliu also said he was already receiving briefings from the staff of the ministry and that the briefings have been extended to cover the power generation companies, the Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN, and the distribution companies. The minister said after the briefing, he will now roll out his plans for the power sector, adding that President Buhari has much confidence in him to make impacts. Engineer Aliu then attended the Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari a day after he met with the President at the State House, Abuja. The new Minister of Power then exchanged pleasantries with other council members at the meeting. The minister, in continuation of duty, received the Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Prince Clement Agwa, on a courtesy visit in company of the Minister of State for Power, Mr. Godi J.D. Agba, in his office at the Powerhouse. The minister also received Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN, led by the acting managing director and CEO, Engineer Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, and his management team, who briefed him on the operations of the company. The TCN acting head also presented a congratulatory card to the minister on his assumption of duty. The next of the agency the Minister of Power received briefing from was the Managing Director and CEO of the Rural Electrification Agency, Engineer Ahmad Salhijo Ahmad, and other management team of the agency on a courtesy visit.
The management of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, says it has reviewed the staff conditions of service and career progression path documents in its resolve to boost commitment and service delivery.
The Executive Director, Human Resources and Corporate Services at TCN, Mr. Justin Ishaya Dodo, gave the charge at the opening session of the sensitization program for staff of TCN on the Review 2020 Conditions of Service and Career Progression Path documents of TCN.
The condition of service itself it has to be consistent with the public service rules. it has to be consistent. You know, TCN is a government-owned company. All along from NEPA, PHC, and TCN, we have been government-owned. So these rules that are contained in the Constitutional Service have to be consistent with the public service rules. And the public service rules themselves have to be consistent with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So you see, what has been reduced into that document called Condition of Service is actually something that should be consistent with the Constitution of the Federation. It should be consistent with public service rules.
Mr. Dudu also explained the importance of the conditions of service documents, which he said spells out disciplinary measures and obligations of staff.
In the condition of service also are processes and procedures for carrying out certain activities. Processes and procedures. So somebody cannot just decide to look at you in the face and say you are sacked.
On career progression, he said it helps the company to properly position new entrant staff with the maximum level they can attain based on their educational qualification.
The reason why the career progression part is important is because this is the document that will tell you your entry point and where you are, your maximum position, as it were, as you progress in your career. You have very competent people who are going to handle this with you. I want to see how we can deliver this. So on this note, I declare this sensitization and enlightenment program open.
The sensitization, which was organized by the Industrial Relations and Human Resources Departments, continued with the technical session, where various facilitators made presentations on the content of the condition of service and career progression path. The General Manager, Industrial Relations at TCN, Mr. Chuks Naji, who presented the Review 2020 Conditions of Service, noted that both the TCN chapters of the National Union of Electricity Employees, NUI, and the Senior Staff Association of Electricity and Allied Companies, SIAC, worked to produce the documents.
The idea of having the 2020 Conditions of Service reviewed, like I said, is to make sure that we have a uniformity of application of the policies that we have in TCN. This is a negotiated document, and it's signed, duly signed, between the National Union of Electricity Employees and the SSA, the SIAC, in TCN, with management.
Mr. Nnaji also spoke about other corporate roles expected of the TCN staff towards exhibiting the highest level of professionalism as contained in the conditions of service. He further tasked the internal industrial relations staff of the company to ensure they familiarize themselves with the document to enable them perform optimally.
You are the ones that need it. Because your SMHR, once he knows that you don't know this document, you are in trouble. You are in trouble. Once your F&A knows that you don't know it, you are in trouble. So we will, in the course of this program, as we go through our the TCN regions, try as much as possible to pick out these things. If you take them one by one, every day just read one chapter. Every day read one chapter. Before 14 days, 2 weeks, you'll be done with this without stress. It's very important, very, very important, extremely important that you know what is contained in the document.
Participants at the workshop exchanged ideas in the interactive session that followed after the presentation of the TCN Condition of Service. The General Manager, Human Resources and Corporate Services at TCN, Mrs. Abiodun Afolabi, who spoke on career development as guided by the career progression path, said the Condition of Service document was reviewed in 2020 by the present management of TCN, first time after a long time.
In consonance with the corporate plans to achieve sustainable progress for the company, the objectives of the career progression plans part include the following. 1. To attract, select, hire, retain, and motivate the best talent that will contribute to the achievement of the company's corporate objectives through adequate or competitive career progression path. Number 2, to ensure adequate and proportionate planning for organizational structure and manpower needs to meet optimal level of performance. To ensure optimal and effective utilization of available manpower in required operational, functional, and strategic areas of the company for the attainment of higher productivity and corporate efficiency.
At the end of the presentation of the career progression path, the TCN staff who participated in the session were given the opportunity to interact and share their knowledge about the documents.
The power circuit continues after this break.
Verify that land before you buy it. To drastically reduce the incidence of building under the transmission right-of-way or encroaching on designated TCN land, members of the public are hereby requested to verify land near or along transmission line route before purchasing it. Verification should be made in the Land Development Authority or at the TCN office. This would help in drastically reducing the incidence of building under transmission line right-of-way and save us all the problem of pulling down the structure or truncating transmission line expansion projects in your community due to court injunction. Help us serve you better. Verify that land before you buy it.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, recently created the Kano Transmission Region, making it the 10th region of the company in its nationwide operation of the national power grid. The power circuit team was at the 330-132 kilovolts Kumboso Transmission Substation in Kano, which houses the Kano Regional Transmission Office. The acting regional transmission manager, Kano Region of TCN, Engineer Badamasi Adamu, will be speaking on expectations for power transmission projects execution and the expected improvements in operational efficiency in the region, which covers Kano, Jigawa, Katsina, among others.
How old is this transmission region of TCN?
This is a new region created just 3 months back. It was created on the 20th of May 2021 out of Kaduna region. And the role it plays, we are responsible for transmitting of power. We import bulk supply at 330 kV voltage level. We now step it down to 132 kV and further step it down to 33 kV, which we now send it to the distribution for onward distribution to our customers.
How many power transmission substations are there in this region?
We have 2 numbers of regions at Katsina and Jigawa, but these sub-regions and also Kano here, Kumboso, 3 number, not 2, 3 numbers of regions. 1 at Kano, Kumboso, 1 at Katsina, and the other at Dutse, Jigawa State. Yes. So all the areas that they covered about 13 number substations, transmission substations, 13 number. If I can call some of them, we have here Kano. In Kano we have Agundi 132-33 kV substation. We have Dakata 132-33 kV substation. We have Tamburawa 132-33 kV substation. We have Dangora 132-33 kV substation. We have Udil 132 kV substation. Yes, that is here in Kano. In Dutse, we have Dutse, we have Adeja, we have Gagarawa, we have Azeri. All these are under Dutse substation. And our service is extended up to Bauchi State, Adere inclusive, Adere and Jama'are. So the Jama'are substation is a Mobitra. It is on the list presently, but it's under construction by this moment, yes. But that of Azeri it was on service for long. Yes, and the station at Hadeja is serving up to Yobe State, Unguru, Yobe State. Yes. Katsina, we have Katsina, we have Daura, it's also under Katsina sub-region at 132 kV substation. We have a station at Kankia. We have a station at Lambata. But that of Lambata is also under construction. All the transformers are there on the fleet, but the civil works is not yet. It has not started. Yes, certainly. So about a certain number, 132 kV substations under the Frederick Kano regional office. We have an installed capacity of 4 by 150 MVA. That is about 480 megawatts. Yes, but that is the capacity, installed capacity, 480 megawatt. But the line capacity, we are able to only. The line capacity is 400 megawatts.
What is the coverage area of the region?
The area we covered, as I told you earlier, we covered Kano, Jigawa, Kano State, Jigawa State, Katsina State, part of Bauchi State, and part of Yobe State. That is in Nigeria. We also covered Gazawa in Niger Republic. Yes, Gazawa, Maradi, and Co. in Niger Republic. Yes, that is our area of coverage.
What major projects have TCN engineers executed in the region?
We installed a 60 MVA transformer here in Kumboso. Yes, I think some months ago. And also we are presently building 132 kV, 33 kV substation at Bichi. Yes, and for the projects that have been taken by others, by contractors, for instance, here at Kumboso, recently we received contractors from the World Bank, the Chinese. They will now upgrade this, one of the 4 by 150 MVA transformers. They will replace one with 300 its owner and 375 MVA transformer. What I mean by 300 owner, 375 owner. Owner, what I mean by owner? Oil, natural, air, natural. Owner, oil, natural, air forced. Yes, it's a transformer which will replace one of the 150 MVA transformer. Yes, this we handed over site just the last 2 weeks. Yes, they came with our engineers from the corporate headquarters. We sat down, we took them around the switchyard here in Kumboso. We also took them to Agundi Dakata, and we took them to Kankia in Katsina State. Yes. So beside the 300 by 375 MBA transformer that they will install here in Kumbotso, they will also upgrade 1 by 30 MBA here in the switchyard. The 132 kV side, 3 kV side, they will replace it with 100 by 125 MBA. Yes, which is also a very big development, because there will be a lot of tremendous improvement of power supply to our customers. That is here in Kumbotso. In Abundi, also, they are going to install another 100 MVA transformer in Abundi. Yes, with additional 4 number outgoing feeders at a 3 kV level. This project is a World Bank project. Yes. Also in Abundi, this 100 MVA, which I told you, is a World Bank project. There's another project which consists of additional 2 number 33 kV feeders funded by CBN under SLA project. Also, it's coming off at Abundi. So if these projects are realized, honestly speaking, there will be a tremendous improvement in power supply to our customers.
Okay, sir.
At Dakata also, they are going to install another 100 MVA transformer in Dakata with additional 4 number outgoing feeders at a 3 kV level. This also is a World Bank project. Likewise, Kaikia, as I've said, they are going to install 2 by 60 MVA in Kaikia, Katsina State. Yes, to be installed with additional 3 numbers, 33 kV outgoing feeders. This is also a World Bank project. So that is that. There is also reconductoring of Kankia and Katsina 132 kV transmission lines that are going to be reconducted. Yes, to order to have more load. Yes, all this are done, been done in order to give power supply to our numerous customers. Yes, there's also another reconductor of 132 kV Dakata line from here, from Kumbotso to Dakata in the Kano metropolis. There's also another reconductoring exercise which has already been approved.
That is the much we can take from the Acting Regional Transmission Manager, Kano Region of TCN, Engineer Badamasi Adamu, in this edition. You'll get to hear more about the Kano region in subsequent editions. Before we wrap up this edition, here are the top stories. The management of TCN reviews staff conditions of service, career progression path to boost commitment and service delivery. And you heard from the Acting Regional Transmission Manager, Kano Region of TCN, Engineer Badamasi Adamu, who spoke on the expectations of project execution and the improvement in operational efficiency in the newly created Kano Transmission Region. We appreciate you as you always keep a date with the power circuits. This episode and all others are readily accessible with just a click on the TCN YouTube channel. Keep supporting TCN through these platforms so that together the company can advance its mandate of delivering bulk electricity nationwide. Kindly ensure you take the COVID-19 vaccine and the preventive protocols seriously, as there are reported cases of the outbreak of the new Delta variant in Nigeria. I am Amara Agugoesi. Thanks for being there.